Well, have you ever been somewhere so amazing that you think to yourself, there's no place on earth quite like it? My family just returned from a holiday in Portugal, and one of the really lovely parts about it was that my wife Anna and we had a whole weekend that was child-free. I mean, we left our 1 and 3-year-olds with the grandparents, sort of win-win as far as I see it. We headed off to a little hotel in the middle of nowhere, over near the Spanish border, basically just a swimming pool and a sun lounger for the weekend. Sort of really great news for my holiday reading pile, except here was the view from my sun lounger. There we are. Hard to read those books when you've got a view like that. I mean, the photo never quite does it justice, does it? But the scenery was utterly stunning. Actually, it was even more stunning if you were perched on the edge of the pool, because in your kind of immediate vision was the grass, and you could see the insects just in front of you pouring around, and there were still those vast hills in the background. So you had the micro and the macro of God's creation just all rolled into one. A sort of extraordinary sight. Kind of a miracle that we managed to return back to the children and then to the UK, really. Well, perhaps somewhere that makes you feel similar to that kind of feeling. You know, whether somewhere you've actually visited or somewhere you've seen on TV, you know, maybe the Grand Canyon or Victoria Falls or the Great Barrier Reef, you know, whatever it is. Somewhere that is just jaw-droppingly stunning. Somewhere that leaves you lost in wonder as you think to yourself, there is no place quite like it. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Well, do you know another place about which that could and should be said? It's the church. Not for its physical beauty, you'll understand me, but as you look closely at the church, it should be somewhere that takes your breath away. So somewhere that you think of it, wow, there is nowhere quite on earth like this. And really that's what this whole chapter in Matthew's Gospel is setting out. This is Jesus' chapter on the church. It's giving a portrait for what makes it a compelling place. And undergirding it all really is that it is a place of love. And that's seen in the most staggering way in our verses this morning, because we're told here in Matthew 18, 21 to 35, that the church is a place of forgiveness, where one Christian loves another by forgiving them. Now, obviously, immediately, that is just such a contrast, isn't it, with the world at large. The world where people will often say that they could never forgive someone. Or the world where people only forgive small wrongs, or only forgive so many wrongs. Or the world where people forgive, in inverted commas, but only really for their own sake, for their own peace and for their own happiness. And yet the church is radically different. The church is a place where forgiven people forgive.